Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, sometimes ships break down. Sometimes they have technical difficulties. But to have a technical difficulty yesterday is now probably the worst possible scenario for the people on this cruise. Today's video is brought to you by Private Internet Access. Okay, picture this. You're on a dream vacation, you're going to the Philippines. You get to the Philippines, you're off onshore, you're exploring, and then you go to purchase something and your card is declined. So what? My card shouldn't be declined. And you find out that your card has been hacked and you have lost all your information, all your money on your card's frozen, you're in a foreign country. They said they'll mail you a new one. They're gonna mail you a new one in the Philippines? I don't think so. And now you're on a cruise a million miles from nowhere and you have no money. Well, one of the things that helps you prevent this is to get a VPN. The VPN is what I use when I travel to secure myself, to make sure hackers and people who want to steal my information, like my credit card info and stuff like that, just can't find me. I'm located somewhere else in the world, and it helps me protect my private information from everybody who's trying to do nefarious things out there. So don't let that happen to you. And why private internet access? First of all, they're not storing my private information. They have a no log policy, which means they're not storing my information, which is what I'm looking for. I don't want anyone storing my personal information, and that's been proven in court by a third-party audit. Not only that, it doesn't have a limit on my devices. It's not saying you can do 5 devices. Congratulations. No, I have unlimited devices. I could do 1,000 devices if I wanted to, all under the same plan. So if you'd like to protect yourself while you're traveling and make sure that you don't have that happen to you where you get to a thing and you have no credit cards anymore because they've been hacked, it really helps to have a VPN. So why not follow my link down below and get 83% off your subscription plus 4 months free. And thanks again to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video. So passengers received a letter on the NCL Jade. That's right, the ship my buddy Tony literally just got off a couple weeks ago. Well, it's having technical difficulties. So much so that it won't return to Orlando a full day late. It was supposed to arrive this morning. They should be unloading passengers as I'm recording this video at 6 a.m. in the morning. But it won't arrive until Sunday now on the 21st and unload passengers. That seems like, okay, well, it's a pretty rough start. Now think about it. I have clients who are flying back to New York, clients who are flying back to Toronto, and I am getting messages from them saying they are having a nightmare trying to book flights back home. And one of the reasons for that is yesterday. Yesterday, the World Wide Web shut down because of an IT company that's based around protecting everybody from cyber attacks and hacks, etc. like that, that a lot of companies and governments use and airlines use. Well, they did an update with Microsoft and it did not work. It shut down, it gave everybody that blue screen of death, including personal computers, but banks were shut down, hospitals had hard times, airlines shut down. Almost 3,000 flights in the United States alone yesterday were canceled because of this. Now, when that happens, all 3,000 flights, so say an average of 100 and some passengers on each one, all have to get rebooked. And all have to get rebooked onto flights that other people have already booked. And so we all know how much travel is right now, how the travel industry, especially how busy it is right now. Well, picture trying to get all these people rebooked again on other flights and fitting them in, etc., etc. And now you're on a cruise ship. And the cruise ship tells you you're going to be a day late. Now, if you were with Norwegian Cruise Line and you booked the airline through them, they are working to rebook you. And they're even doing something that was I don't hear too often, but I'm really glad to see Norwegian do. And that was they're going to pay for a hotel night for those people who booked flights through their system and everything, in case you're delayed and you can't fly till Monday. Well, I'm getting calls and messages from people who are telling me their flights are on Wednesday because of what happened yesterday. The airlines are backed up. The airlines are so backed up, and if you're flying to a place that has not a lot of flights or connecting flights, they're having a hard time getting you rebooked. They're just flooded right now with all the stuff that's happening. And remember, this was worldwide that a lot of this happened. It didn't just happen in the United States, Canada. It happened in Europe. It happened in Asia. So it was a real mess for travel especially, and pretty much a lot of businesses, banks, hospitals. Starbucks couldn't make drinks for people because they couldn't take credit cards at one point. So it was kind of a thing. Now, passengers on board, if you have to change your flights and you did not book your flight through Norwegian, you are now scrambling to try and get your own flights. And I believe you're going to be paying for your own hotels as well. So yeah, you cannot plan. You can plan to be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours late getting off your cruise ship. You cannot plan for a full 24 hours getting off the cruise ship. Not only that, oh my goodness, with what happened yesterday, compounding that issue, it is just making it a nightmare for some people to rebook flights, especially those who booked flights on small airlines, who booked flights, say, on Spirit Airlines, on Porter Airlines, who have much less flights every day and much less planes that they can just throw more planes up in the air, etc., make more flights. So it's becoming a bit of a complication for all the people who did not book their flights on the Norwegian Jade. No word from Norwegian yet if what happens if they're trying to book people and they can't get flights on Monday or Sunday and end up getting them on Tuesday, Wednesday. Will they cover those hotels as well? I have a feeling Norwegian will, because they just had this happen right after that Alaska incident that was covered everywhere. Every person on YouTube covered it. Every vlogger covered it. Good Morning America covered that Alaska thing that happened. And yes, they did leave a family there. Yes, they did leave a family there that was on one of their own excursions that they guarantee they will get you to the next. If you miss it, they'll get you to the next one. Trouble was, it was in a different country and one of the passports was missing. Otherwise, they would have flown them to Victoria, Canada to get them on the ship. So they were doing what they could, but they weren't able to fly them, so they had to just fly them home. I think Norwegian did a pretty good job. Now, it's very, I get a lot of people who say, yeah, you only cover bad stories when it happens in Norwegian. No, I cover stories. If it happens to be a bad one, and it happens to be that cruise line, I'm going to cover it. I'm not going to hide it. But I think I've been pretty fair in saying on that Alaska thing that they did a good job. And I think they're doing a good job here, especially for those who booked the airlines through them. However, now let's talk about the next people on the cruise. Oh, by the way, if you are on this cruise currently and getting off now tomorrow, you're going to get a 10% future cruise credit as well. Don't know what's happening with the next cruise now. Obviously, your next cruise is going to be a day short. Also, you're now looking for hotels today. If you're flying in and that, you need an extra day of hotel because the ship's not coming in tomorrow, till tomorrow, and your next cruise is now cut short a day. So I imagine you'll get a prorated cost of yours, hopefully in the form of a refund and not an onboard credit. But we'll have to see what happens with that. It's just, you could not have asked, probably, for a worse day for them to have a technical difficulty with their engines and not being able to reach full speed than yesterday. Right? like, hey, oh my God, we can't, let me just call the airline today. What do you mean the airline shut down? What? What do you mean I can't fly home till Wednesday? What? What do you mean it's going to cost me another $2,000? What? Possibly the worst possible time for that to happen. And I am completely sorry for those who are going to go through this, trying to get home from what should have been just a nice, fun vacation on the NCL Jade. All the extra stuff really isn't Norwegian's fault. It is a global thing that happened. And it's not even the airline's fault, right? It was an IT thing that happened. But it's a compound thing. And some people are saying they're seeing their bookings for their next flight as far away as 1 week later. And most of them are just choosing to cancel and trying to find it with another airline, which is also proving very difficult. So if you're traveling in the next few days, if you're not, if you need to change your flights, I hope it goes a lot smoother than it happening for a lot of people right now. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.